And now, the way it used to be, here's Joey.
Hey everybody, how you doing? Joey Ciccone with you on this lovely Friday, a post-Thanksgiving show, 5 o'clock hour. We're doing a 1 hour today. Man, I'm full. I'm full, man. I am full. As you are driving out there, like hopefully not like maniacs, okay? But I want everyone to be careful out there. I had a good one. I hope you had a good one. Gave thanks, and now you're all out there trying to buy the plasma TV. The plasma TV was on sale for $270, but if you come 9 hours and wait in line, you can get it for $170 or something. But we'll mail you the rebate in the mail and everything, right? Okay. Don't you love it? Happy Black Friday. All right. That's all I want to say. My sponsors. I want to say hi to Pink Box. You go in there. You get the donut. Joey Ciccone. You get the coffee. All right. I want you to stop in there and definitely mention me. You got to mention my name. I was listening to Joey Ciccone on Vegas, allnetradio.com. Joey said I could get the coffee with the donut. Please do that. Check it out. 2 locations, okay? Number 1, Summerlin Hill Plaza, 7531 West, Lake Mead Boulevard, Nevada, 89128. Second location is in Henderson, 10251 Southeastern Avenue, Henderson, Nevada, 89147. The first one that I mentioned in Summerlin is 24 hours, so definitely got to pop in there and check it out. You know what I'm saying? Okay, and make sure you tell them, Joey sent me. That's the main. That's a little secret, man. You get a free cup of coffee. We need free things, Helen, right?
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and put that on so you're with me today. All right. Are you stuffed? Are you full? What
Oh my
happened?
God, I have to go back on a diet.
Yeah, we all know that. I'm in the gym pre-Thanksgiving, after this morning. I mean, it's just like.
You're so good.
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, it just doesn't stop. But you're not gonna, not eat the stuff that's there, man. You got to go all out. My second sponsor I want to talk about. All right, Innovative Care Physician Group. Okay, and I'm just touch on it real quick. Dr. Goldsmith, CEO of Trim Care. Okay, has developed a revolutionary program. Combinations of medication, supplements, diet, and behavior modifications to create patients basically to lose weight, man. I highly recommend him and his people over there to go check them out and tell him Joey sent you because I was at Pink Box prior and I ate a few donuts and now he sent me here to lose the weight. I don't know. All right. Laughs in the studios. These guys are full too, you know what I'm saying?
I know.
But they're moving at a very nice level, which I'm liking. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, those are my lovely sponsors, and again, happy Black Friday. Do you do this?
You know what? There's nothing I've ever seen that I wanted to stand in line for like 10 hours for. Nothing.
Are you sure, like, that really nice bracelet, that ring,
Nope.
or,
Nope.
See, I've never done it personally myself, so,
No.
I mean, and then there's people after the holidays or after Christmas, you know what I'm saying? They're like, I'll just go buy it then, man. I get the first thing.
Yeah, then it's on sale about like 10 days later for the same price.
Right, but I ain't gonna. Bottom line is, you're right. I ain't gonna kill myself over it. You know what I'm saying? That's something definitely I'm not gonna do. Let's hear from the lovely Caesars Group and see what's happening in our lovely town, Las Vegas, Nevada, right off of the Associated Press. Okay. Casino giant Caesars Entertainment is appealing a bankruptcy court ruling that could put it on the hook for nearly $364 million. That's a lot of dollars, you know what I'm saying? That's the amount of pension fund wants Caesars to pay installments for 20 years after the company's largest subsidiary filed for bankruptcy protection in January. The National Retirement Fund wants to oust Caesars, forcing it to cover the remaining cost of promised pensions. Caesars is the largest fund contributor, paying $13 million annually. The company has said it has no intention of stopping payments or leaving the fund on its own. Let me just finish up here. Caesars argued the same legal protections that shielded its subsidiary should protect Caesars in its case. Then you have Judge Benjamin Goldgar denied Caesars' motion to extend the automatic stay on November 12th. And then Caesars filed its appeal Monday. That's right off of the Associated Press. Little thing on Caesars, where we live. Things should be getting back started, until Christmas time. You know what I'm saying? People are going to, you get back to work now. And then you bring the leftovers, too. You got to bring the leftovers, You know what I'm saying? That's
get rid of them.
Well, yeah, you got to have the sandwich, and then later on you create other ways to have the sandwich. Like, do you have the stuffing with the turkey, mayo? I like that one. And this one is the cranberry with the stuffing, with the turkey, with the mayo. Right? You like that one, okay? So, and then...
that's delicious.
Then there comes a time where... I got to say it, folks, it's done. It's over. Get this you-know-what out of the refrigerator. The party's over. But we have some more pumpkin pie, Let's have some of that, all right? Oh, man. Okay, cool. Got that handled. I got to tell you about... see a little bit... moving right along. I want to share this with you, and we'll hold off on this little brief thing I have, but let me tell you who's with us today, okay? And then... if I have time, I'll get to that before I bring him in. But very happy, positive guy that I met, 6 or 7 months ago, maybe, and we became friends from another place, and we kind of relocated here, and he is a host here and does a wonderful show and a wonderful job. But let me tell you about a guy named Mike McGee, the man behind the wheel. A show informs and entertains anyone that drives for a living, okay? He covers various issues that may be of concern to most drivers, from drivers to taxi cabs, limousines, shuttles, buses, vans, sedans, trolleys. Okay, trolleys. I like the cat and school buses. That's a good one. Garbage trucks, parcel delivery trucks, and even police, fire, and rescue. He discusses topics like doorman performance, pandering. I'll be asking him that one. Diversion, long hauling, soliciting, self-defense. Cool, man. Reckless driving, and so much more. Mike has 10 years driving experience for the garbage company, which I got questions there, okay, all right? Does your garbage get picked up on time? Just an idea, okay. But it wasn't him that did it, but maybe the company, I don't know. And 25 years driving cabs and limousines. A lot of stories about things that happen in the back of the limousine. Living in Las Vegas since 1968. Wow, man, that's a long time. He has been, he has seen everything change from high-end men's clothing, cars, with some advertising experience, along with broadcasting school education. He is a force to be reckoned with in a vehicle or on the air. And what I just want to say is, in my line of work, whether, in Hollywood it was the acting or the music or anything, you meet special people along the way. And when someone can take the time to give you a compliment, I think that's what it's all about. Like Helen, very nice jacket that you're wearing.
Thank you.
Yes, and that's all that's needed is, a thank you. And the reason I'm bringing that up, it's Thanksgiving. The day after, actually, Thanksgiving. But it's still the Thanksgiving spirit. Do you see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The spirit still stays with you a little bit because you're going to be eating the turkey and everything else. And with that being said, Mike, I want to thank you for your lovely comments that you've given me, and that you're going to be here shortly. And I heard that you're for a loss of words. Got the guys in the studio laughing today. That's that tryptophan or whatever the hell it is, right? I don't know what it is. It's beautiful. So, my pal Mike's coming out here. Let me just see what else is happening. I don't know. Let's do this. Oh, let's do this. Yeah, maybe we'll have the guys split one and And you remember me talking about my sponsor, and Dr. Goldsmith was here, and he had to leave for an emergency last week. He was supposed to be here, but anyway, came through with the trim care. This is the trim care bars, right? Go ahead.
Correct. Yeah,
Go ahead
trim
and
care bars.
expand on it, as they say.
Well, it's apparently it's all organic and it's very good, and it's tasty. It's not like plastic food.
Right, and it's got all the protein and everything else in there. He was talking about it when he was on there. I'm without
So
the
there's
glasses. Whole
I
food.
think
Go
there's
ahead.
about 6 different flavors.
Right. So you got this one's chocolate chip cookie dough. You got this I like. Now I could like this one. This is the chocolate almond. Trim Care, my sponsor. Call the studio 702-483-4444. I'll give you the information on them. They're my sponsor. That's where you get these from. Okay? They're not like the regular ones that you get in the grocery store or in the
Online
one of these
or-
supplement stores. Cookies and cream.
Oh, and it's only 200 calories.
Yeah, you know that?
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Because he said.
Okay, he did say that, but sometimes I don't remember. But we're going to be trying that. We'll let the guys split one for an after Thanksgiving dessert treat special. You know what I'm saying? How lovely that is. And I have my other friend here today behind the board. And what's nice is he doesn't have a microphone. That's what's wonderful. But you can possibly hear him from there. He gets very tired sometimes because he works a lot. And who would that be?
Can he hear you?
Who might be operating the board tonight?
That would be me, the one and only Mr. Bobcat here tonight.
Mr. Bobcat in the house. I was waiting
Too much
for
turkey.
I was waiting for him to make that move.
Too much turkey, too much Stoley's vodka from yesterday.
Oh, he admitted. Now he admitted
That's what I thought.
he admitted the vodka part. No, I wanted him to make.
I
the
work in
introduction.
radio. I admit to nothing.
You tasted the turkey with stolen.
And right now he's not on camera. Exactly. Listen, happy Black Friday. We're just moving along. You are listening to the Joey Ciccone Show. I might have not even mentioned that, all right? But it's the way it used to be, the way it is. Today we're kind of touching on the way it is right now, all right? Stay with me. I love seeing you. I hope you're all listening. I'll be right back with my special guest, Mike. Thanks so much. Joey Ciccone back with you. Black Friday. Let me just tell you what that is real quick, man. You might want a definition on that. Black Friday is when basically retail stores finally had positive balance sheets as opposed to bends in the red or the negative. Okay, so that's why we have Black Friday. So man, they want to get rid of the inventory, get some new stuff in there, and boom, that's why that happens. Well, the man sitting next to my right, Mr. Mike McGee, like I told you, I gave him some nice accolades there at the beginning, and it's a day like, Mike, what I was saying was, it's a day after Thanksgiving, but we still give thanks for a few days, and I wanted to tell you in person that some of the things you've stated, some of the things you've texted me have meant a lot. I get a lot of things from fans and everything, but from someone in the business, someone that I think is very, intellectual and very intelligent, coming from you and some of the things we've talked about as friends. It means a lot, man. It means a lot to me. And on this day of giving thanks and the week of giving thanks, let's put it that way, wanted to have you here, and I was so happy that you were able to make it.
Hey, my pleasure.
And man, your show here is still happening, correct?
Hey, yes, sir.
Okay.
It is.
And what I want to say is move up on that mic a little bit and let
All right.
me hear
How's
Big
this?
Mike, because I'm happy you're here, man.
How's this? Can you hear me?
You sound like a nice
All
jazz
right.
jazz singer, baby.
Well, I believe everything happens for a reason. And before I met you, I was just under the spell of Helen. believe it or not. Yeah. And I saw her first, and then I met you.
Now, are we talking about in the
Yeah.
location we were at? We
Yeah.
don't need to name the location.
You know, it was a little house party, you could say.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
with no music. You know,
Now the
there
food
no
was
music happening.
the food. Forget about. But go ahead.
But yeah, and so you started to introduce yourself, and then you said Miles Davis, and then I perked up.
Yes.
Right there, I thought, wow. You know, it was almost like meeting Miles himself. You know, just
man.
to meet somebody that
That's,
you know has got to be damn good to play with Miles, man.
well, man.
If you're just in the background clapping your hands, you know, you got to be good to do that. So
just to be on
Yeah.
the bandstand, you know.
yeah, so you know, I watched your show. I know this is supposed to be about some of what I do, but
No, that's what I want it to be about. What you do.
yeah, I observe, man. I observe. I'm a watcher, thinker, and before I got into driving, I was actually, and you remind me again, into men's clothing.
Oh, we're gonna, because I'll
Okay.
tell you right now, me and Helen, we figured this one out already. We said, yeah,
Okay.
where's my next suit? That's what we're, that's what we're at, baby.
Well,
That's what we're at.
you
I
know.
need to put Mr. Ciccone in something new now.
You know, I had come back here from Denver and lucked up and got a job at the record store, Odyssey Records, which was on Oakey and Las Vegas Boulevard, and later got a job at Cousins Men's Store, and really didn't know where I was.
Just give me a date, just
You know,
for
we're
our
talking
listeners.
late 70s.
Nice. Oh
Okay.
man, I love those times.
All right, and
The way it used to be.
I got this job after 6 weeks of persistence, 300 phone calls. I mean, I just wouldn't go away.
Right.
I'd show up and the manager would say, listen, don't come back, I'll call you.
Right.
We don't have any openings right now. And then I'd come back a few days later and he'd say, man, you know, are you retarded? I told you, don't come back until I call you. And I'd come back again and he said, I'm going to get security to 86 you off the property.
No, I love it because that's what we call haunting them.
Right. So, but eventually I got the job. I learned a few things from the late, great Bernie Schultz, who's
Okay.
was a little Jewish guy. He smoked Dunhill. I don't know if a lot of people know what Dunhill cigarettes
Sure,
are.
but maybe if you don't know out there, yeah, Dunhill, been around, big name.
Very expensive cigarettes.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, that's just the cigarettes. The cigars ain't cheap either, but
Right? And the holder, they always wore these little holders, and they'd stick the cigarette out, and they'd talk to you with the glasses with the little chains on them.
nice. So you had the glass with the chain, and you get the holder,
And the Dunhill.
and
he'd say-
it's longer, folks. I know you try to envision it. It's longer.
Right. And guys would come in the store, and I'd look at him, and he'd nudge me and say, that's Tony Spilatro. I said, really? That's a Jilly Rizzo. Man. He's Sinatra's guy. And all these things were happening so fast, and I noticed all the guys would be moving fast, talking fast. And I'm like, what's going on with the salesman? You know, and I couldn't believe how fast these guys were talking and grabbing suits and so on. Then I later found out it was a substance that made them talk fast and wait on two guys at the same time and you know,
Right,
just pile
right.
suits on top of each other. You know, and I'm thinking, whoa,
Exactly.
I was like so naive, man.
Well, man, of course, you know, it was the year, early 70s.
Late 70s.
Late 70s, late
70s.
70s. Still a great time, please, man. And
Guys
you
had to
know.
wear a suit to the show, you know.
see, I love here, this is what tells me that, not that you've tuned into to what I'm doing, but yeah, this is what we talk about on the show, and yeah,
Yeah.
you know, the way people dressed, the class, the comps, the things you're talking about and everything. But today's my friend Mike's day.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? I mean, see, that's the love that you bring. He steps into the studio, and he goes right into my area. You know, we got the
Right,
dice, we got the
right.
little props from him. He goes right into my area, which I
Right.
love. And please, folks, come on. I could talk about it for the next 3 hours, and you'd love it. And then I'd make some phone calls, and you'd love it even more. But you know, it's about you, man. It's about meeting you and what you put off, and And I will quote someone here on the premises. It's a great one. Someone told me here, you have had a very colorful life. You're just not just a stand-up guy, but the best they ever worked with.
Wow.
That tells you a lot about a guy. And trust me, folks, not just from being from the East Coast, but I think I'm a pretty good judge of character. So sometimes it's not about someone giving you a compliment, but it's the vibe, what you feel the love. And before we even take off with you, my lovely friend, I want to say that you had mentioned our 9/11 show, which meant a lot to us.
Sure.
Because that came from the heart, and Mike had made a comment, if I can re-say it, please, that it should be shown, maybe every 9/11 in all the Clark County schools, and
that's right.
I think I'd be an honor just to bring us to what, Mike, to remember that day. Did the show have impact to you? I think we had a stewardess.
Absolutely.
We had the stewardess here with telling that she was flying them over. Not her personally. She was on the plane.
Yeah.
I kid you not. I had chills, man. The goosebumps.
Mm-hmm.
We were here. We were like, it was like, it was just chilling, and it was so sincere. And the reason why, she had never told that story. My wife happens to work with her, and she had never told that story to anybody. So when she told it here, anyway, Mikey, the bottom line is, let's get to some Q&A. By the way, did you eat a lot yesterday?
No.
You didn't.
Man.
You didn't have much.
I no seconds. Let's put it like that. I get no seconds. I got issues with my weight. You wouldn't know it now, but I was 300 pounds at one time.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So, and it's so easy. 1 pound becomes 5, 5 becomes 10. So I have to weigh myself every day, and if I start to gain, I have to cut back. It's just a battle,
Well, I'm in that boat. I mean, not overweight, but we're always trying to, go from that 5's got to come down. You're up 5, you got to come down 5, you're up 5 and everything. But I guess the main thing is, the bottom line is your health. And Ron Garrett, a friend that you probably know, and a very, very sweet professional, battled with his weight, and he had to take off like a lot of weight from what he had told us a few weeks ago. And we know it's not easy. But, buddy, we were reading a little bit about how's the show going, first of all, and when does it air?
We're on every Monday at 6 p.m.
Okay.
Behind the Wheel, that's the title of the show.
Please. Okay. And that's every Monday at what time again?
6 p.m.
At
to 7
6
p.m.
to 7, okay. All right. And just touch on for our listeners what the show in details. Now, I read it in your bio.
Sure.
You cover a lot of things. You've done a lot of things, But, I had here, now, are these some of the people that come on the show that have driven cabs, limos? I know you did, but like shuttle buses, vans.
Right.
And then the trolleys. I laugh, but it probably
the
happened,
drivers
right?
are who I'm after.
Right. And then cat and school buses.
Yeah.
Dude, you got
Garbage truck. I drove a garbage
Dude,
truck.
you got to
10
tell.
years.
We got to do that story. Like we'll probably wait for the next segment, but we got to do the garbage thing, and then like some of these other things that we were talking about, doorman performance, right?
Right.
I don't mean to be ignorant. Are we talking about the doorman, the guy that opens the door?
Yeah, on the front door, the front of the house, as it's called.
Okay.
The doorman controls the traffic, and some of the hotels, some of the properties, the doorman will. They expect to be paid in order for you to get a load. 5 or 6 guys come out. They're going to a gentleman's club. That's $80 a man now.
Okay, let's clarify, because I don't mean to be like ignorant about it, but are we talking about like limousine situation here?
We're talking both, but
Okay,
primarily limousine drivers do this.
But doorman, have you heard that term? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so fill me in on that term.
Now, some hotels, it's no doorman, they have a valet guy.
Okay, all right, that I would, okay.
It's almost like the nicer the hotel, the nicer his outfit.
Okay, I
It's
love
like
it.
he's going to start a parade. He's got the
Yeah.
big jacket and the hat, everything but the scepter to march
I've seen,
around.
okay, yeah.
San Francisco.
But
Right. Yeah.
You pull up there,
Okay.
and I got 6 guys that I can give to any of my other guys, but you're up. And I'm going to walk around to you, and I'm going to shake your hand, and there better be something in your hand. when we
Gabish.
shake.
Yeah, gabish.
Yeah.
And and by the way, folks, we're not talking about turkey and stuffing. You know what I'm saying? All right, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
A little scatole, as we say in Italian, okay? Which basically confirms into money, all right? There better
Yes.
be a little tip there.
That's correct.
Yeah, so continue.
So it's actually half. So if I'm going to get 300, I got to give you 2,
Nice. Wow.
or I can't come back.
Wow, man.
You know, if I don't like it or I complain, I can't come back because it's your property. You're
Right.
the boss.
I got you.
You know, so
I got you. So
that's
yeah,
just the way
so
it's always been.
I love that, man. And and these other ones we're going to cover when we come back from our break. We're going to talk about. I got to do the garbage thing because not the garbage thing, the garbage job.
Yeah.
Because I'm sorry, there's a lot of carcasses that are going to be out
That's
there.
true, man. I've seen all kinds of stuff.
And the things
Garbage.
you've seen, I want to know about. I have some beautiful questions set up for you.
Sure.
You're my friend. I want to say that on the air, and
Appreciate it.
you're a brother that loves jazz, and,
Oh,
and that's a whole
absolutely.
nother show in itself.
Yes.
I do want to plug Miles Ahead. Go see Cheadle do what he does, man, and give him props for giving it a shot. I happened to be there with the guys seeing the real thing, but I wasn't a consultant on the show. But
Right.
it's okay. It's all cool. Listen, we love you. You're watching Joey Ciccone. It's a little mixture today on Friday, not Friday the 13th, Black Friday.
Yes.
Yeah, Black Friday, not Friday the 13th,
Yes.
right? I'm here with my friend Mike McGee. That's a nice Irish name, isn't it?
Yes.
He's got a
It
beautiful show here. He's a beautiful person. Joey Ciccone, we'll be right back with you. Everybody, Joey Ciccone back with you. The way it used to be, the way it is. My special guest, a fellow host here at Vegas AllNet Radio, Mike, behind the wheel.
Yes,
Am I
sir.
saying it right?
That is.
Behind the wheel, Mike McGee, and it happens to be a personal friend also. So the bottom line is, if you heard earlier in the show, or if you just tuned in, he's done some incredible jobs where you've had to be behind that wheel. Now, my brother back east is a truck driver that drives throughout the United
Right,
States.
over the
I
road.
I know what he goes through, and it's like that ain't an easy gig. But we got some questions for Mike. Man, we get to situations with some guests that we just want so many hours and times with, which we'll have time and we'll do other things again. But anyway, so you drove a garbage truck,
I did.
and go ahead, just fill us in on like Las Vegas to start. Well, yeah, you were here since 1968,
Yes.
so go ahead, take over on that. So
I'm doing the retail thing, and benefits are like nil in retail. So 1983, 84-ish.
yeah, you ain't making nothing in
You
retail,
know.
yeah.
Yeah. So now at the men's store, Cousins Men's Store, which is what it was called, we had a $3 million inventory. We carried the largest selection of Brioni suits, Brioni of Rome, which retail now for $5,000.
Right, folks, Italian clothing.
That's true. We had Artioli shoes. We had Hermitage shirts. In the early '80s, these were $300 shirts.
Yeah.
A lot of people would come in and they thought it was $30.
Okay.
And they'd look at a suit and they thought the suit was $150. And then they'd get up to the counter and they'd see the bill was like $8,000 for a suit, tie, a shirt, one shirt, pair of shoes.
Well, sure.
And they'd be so embarrassed. Some of them would go ahead and buy it anyway, just out of
Right.
embarrassment.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But
sure.
After that, I left there and I decided to start selling cars.
Yee.
All right,
Yeah.
and from there, my son is about to be born, and I realized I have no benefits, and so I began to dump the garbage, and I began to smell the garbage, and I began to say to myself, "This is the smell of money. This is the smell of money." Every time I dumped the garbage, I'd say, "This is the smell of money." So I went to truck driving school. I got a CDL,
Yeah.
Class A license.
Right.
I go to the garbage company. They won't hire me. Again, I got to be persistent. I learned that one of the supervisors is going through a divorce. And I get to know him, and I find out that he doesn't have a lady. He's in such a battle with his ex.
Right.
And he works all the time, so he has no time to meet women. I have a cousin, very much like Helen.
Yeah.
Stops traffic like she does. Okay. So I introduced the two of them at a picnic. Now, I don't know what happened. All I know is they disappeared for 4 hours. The next day, I had a job. Okay. And I worked there for 10 years. And I drove a tractor trailer. Eventually, I worked my way up from the leach, where you're grabbing the garbage cans, to with the older drivers and just driving up and back to the landfill.
Yeah, but the gig I thought was, is that what you started with, going to get the garbage
Yeah,
cans
you're
and doing
pitching.
that whole
Yeah,
thing?
you drive what they call a leach.
Is that what it's called,
Yeah,
man?
women do it too. You won't see many of them, but yeah, you see a lot of women, and man, it's a workout, especially with those hot suits, and those.
Now, they do get paid well.
Oh yeah.
Okay, they do get paid well, but it's a
Sure.
very physical job, because think about it. Have you ever put the garbage out before, and you're like, Maron, I put this garbage out. I'm glad I don't have to lift this and throw it in the truck tomorrow.
Right.
I feel sorry for the guy. That's actually why. No, I'm serious. I go out there and because we work nights, and if we're not doing a show or something.
Right.
But you're out there during that time. If I see him, you need something to drink, like that. And I'm always trying to be nice to them. But that's an interesting gig, and I'm sure you saw some like really crazy things back in
All
the day
kinds of
laid
stuff.
out, because
All kinds of
there wasn't that dude that came around creeping. Oh, don't worry about it. Put the couch out there. It'll be gone in the morning, and the garbage man won't take it
Yeah.
because it'll be gone.
Right. Well, some of the guys who, let's say, some of the nicer neighborhoods.
Yeah.
They'll come through and they'll see something, and they'll ask the homeowner, "Can I come back later and pick this up?" Might be a
Right.
vacuum cleaner,
Nice.
a big screen that just
Yeah.
had a minor thing wrong with it,
Right.
and they're wealthy enough to where there's, the big screen doesn't come on. Let's just get rid of it. Go get another one.
Right.
But yeah, the thing about the garbage company though is that it was set up like a prison, and they had armed guards and barbed wire fences, and a lot of guys that got jobs there did come out of prison. So it kind of reminded you of where you just came from.
So are we like late 70s, early 80s now?
We're talking actually into the mid 90s.
Wow,
Okay.
man. Okay. All
All
right.
right.
Now, can we mention that? Because the only one I know is when I came from L.A., the only one I know is the one I know.
Silver State Disposal.
Oh, no, it's not. That's not mine, but that's all right.
Yeah.
Republic's mine.
Republic, this is before Republic.
Okay.
Yeah,
The way it used to be.
right. Richie Isola, Johnny Isola.
All paisans.
Yes, they own the company. And I happened to meet the late, great Herb Tobin, who was a very good friend of theirs for 30 years, and I worked for him as well. But driving limo 2 nights for him, I actually made more money than 40 hours on the garbage truck.
Of course, man.
Okay?
Now, here's a guy, I got to put the props out, man. The way I was raised, a lot of my friends and fans know I was raised, from back east. We just learned to do things ourselves, man, from the car on down to everything. But here's what I want to do, a shout out for Mike, a guy that definitely is not lazy to work. The guy who works, and look at all the jobs he's had and everything.
Yeah.
I got one even better. So right now that we're on it, we need a limo story.
All right.
So we got 8 minutes. We're good. So we got to have a limo story, and I got some questions here for you. But a cool limo story. You always hear,
Sure. I'll give you my favorite story is I'm at Turnberry Place,
Know it well.
okay, and they had a
Paradise.
private club called the Sterling Club.
Still around, right?
Okay, they closed it. The building's still there.
Oh, so Sterling Club
Yeah.
is closed.
Yeah. And so there's a line of limousines. It's almost the same way as like the Academy Awards or the Grammys. You're in a line
Right.
of 10, 15 limousines. So in front of me is a Rolls Royce for Jack Nicholson. I'm picking up the developer for the Fountain Blue in Miami and Turnberry Place, Don Sofer.
Right.
So there are so many people standing around that Rolls Royce that want pictures, they want kisses, they want hugs, they want something from Jack Nicholson.
Sure, even the look,
Right.
just the look,
So he comes walking up and he sees all these people and they're, Jack, and he just gets in next to and sits next to me and said, I'm just not up. I'm not up for it. Can you just take me? Just let's go. And I said, oh, okay. And I'm thinking, yeah, you can tell him to get out, right? So I'm driving him.
Is he in the front with you?
Yeah, he's sitting right there.
Oh, my God, he's not even in the back. It's
So
like the front seat.
my boss calls me and says, how come you're not out in front? They're waiting on you. I said, well, I got Jack Nicholson in the car. What are you doing with him in the car? He just got in. Well, you're not there to pick him up. I said, listen, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to give him the phone, and you can tell him. He says, never mind. So I'm driving it. He says nothing. I say nothing.
Yeah.
So as a rule, so you don't say the wrong thing, if they don't talk to you, you don't talk to them.
Exactly, because believe it or not, in L.A. I had to do some runs in a limousine, and it was pretty trippy.
Right.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm talking about.
I had some big celebs, and I used to get lost sometimes. They get pissed, too, man. I'm like, made a wrong turn. Relax. Take it easy. I'll get you there.
So
Definitely didn't last too long on that one.
So we're driving, and then we get to the MGM, and this gate opens up, and I figure I'll never see him again.
Right.
So I said, Mr. Nicholson, I got to ask you something. He said, what's that? I said, I'm a big fan. He said, oh, thank you. I said, but, it just seems like in all of your movies, you always get laid. And he said, yes, and in between.
Right, but now I'm thinking of some of the movies where he hasn't got laid.
Well, there's a couple, but it sounded good. I couldn't think of those.
Yeah. Well, maybe he didn't do maybe he didn't do bucket list yet.
I was going to say, right. Oh, no.
No, it's all right. No.
I always look, if Jack's not getting laid, I'm not watching.
I really don't want to watch him
Well, I don't
getting
either,
laid.
but,
To
I mean, just
be
the
honest.
implication.
I'm happy for him, What's the one with my one girl from Chicago? I'm trying to think the blonde.
I know the movie.
I can't
I know
think
the movie.
right now.
I
where
can't think of
where
it.
he's like he's schizo. He's nuts. He's got to move things.
Right.
You
I
know,
remember.
But
Good as it gets.
Yes,
as good
right.
as it gets. And I think he gets laid.
Yeah, he does. There's only been a couple.
All right. So listen, we talked about the garbage truck. I love this. We got a few minutes before break. We are with my friend Mike McGee, behind the wheel. Anything behind the wheel you want to ask him. There's a lot of other things, too. Call in 702-483-4444. Black Friday. I'm glad we're here because I don't want to be out there with nut jobs going nuts
Right.
over 75 cents. And then, you got to get next to the El Dorado. It's just not fun. It's not a good idea.
Right.
And we don't want that. So, listen, we got a few more minutes before our next segment. Let's do this. I'm just looking for the question I want to ask you. Well, what gig was the best, man? Out of all you had the limo gig, you had the garbage
Right.
gig, you had the apparel for the apparel's nice.
Right.
If we knew someone that had a truck that could drop some suits off right now.
Right. I got to tell you, I'm living the dream right now.
Man, that's
Just
nice.
being
That's
here.
nice to hear. Man, that's nice to hear. No,
Yeah.
You mean being where, here in Vegas?
Yeah, man. I got a radio show in the entertainment capital of the world.
Beautiful.
Okay. So
Right.
yeah, I pinch myself. Okay, because it's real. I'm here.
And let's make this clear to the listeners. How
Right.
long has this been going on?
11 years we've been on the air.
Right. Now, you've worked in other stations and different things, but you've been doing it, dude. And that's, before I run to this break here, man, I just want to bring up that point that, it's very simple, Mike, because, right now I hear someone out, ask this.
Sure.
How do you mix driving with the broadcasting? So you like this? I know you did studying with broadcasting, but there's something about it in your blood.
Mm-hmm.
The driving was the gig, but then you like what you're doing.
I do. Because my audience used to be teenagers. I'd rent a ballroom at Caesars in the early 80s when I was at Cousins in Caesars. And so these youngsters could come there and dance because there was nowhere, even now, for teenagers to go. Where do they go? There's no teen clubs here, you see? So I used to have these dances every Friday night, and I'd rent a ballroom, and the hotels didn't like it. They didn't want all these youngsters in there because they couldn't gamble. But I made a lot of money doing that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I loved it, man. And gradually, the hotel said, "Well, we don't want these kids in here." So, and I was so naive about gangs. I didn't realize that there was a gang problem here.
Now, where are you from originally?
From Chicago.
You really?
Yeah.
Whereabouts?
Yeah, I grew up on the west side of Chicago.
Oh, man. You know, I was born in New York but raised in Cicero and Chicago Heights.
Okay.
South Side.
Most of my family's in Chicago right now.
Right now, my daughter just came from college in Wisconsin. She's down there. You know, they just finished Thanksgiving. She went to see them and everything down there.
Sure.
Then she goes back to Stevens Point. But, yeah, all our family's in Chicago right now.
Right.
And it's not like super, super cold, but it's
Yeah.
getting there.
Yeah.
And on that note, listen, I'm with my pal Mike, man, sweetheart of a guy, hanging out here with my manager and my producer, Helen. Black Friday, glad we're not out there going nuts with people. Joey Ciccone, the way it is, the way it used to be, but we'll be back. Everybody, Joey Ciccone back with you. It's so nice, man, to have Mike McGee here. You know, he's I consider him a pro because he's just a good broadcaster and knows what he's doing, and it's nice when two pros kind of hang out and share stories. He's been giving us a little bit of everything, and it's like the comfort food we had yesterday. It's very comforting. You know what I'm saying? But Mikey, if it would be cool, we'd like to ask you some other things, and
Sure.
you know, we got to do another show. You know, where we talk about jazz and everything, because just because I was up in it,
Right.
don't mean you don't know about it. You understand what
Sure,
I'm saying?
sure.
I know you dug into a lot of things. I was talking to Ryan out here, and he said, Mike knows his jazz and likes his jazz, which we've talked about. You know what I'm trying to say?
Sure.
But getting back behind the wheel, you know, now Uber, right? Am I saying it right?
Uber.
Uber.
Yeah.
Uber. You know, I got that accent. You know. But Uber, now, where does that fall in? Does that affect what you're doing? Does it affect Vegas?
Oh, absolutely.
Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing?
Well, it's a real thing, you know.
Right.
It depends on who you talk to. Las Vegas, probably the people that control the taxi cab and limousine industry as we know it are not glad they're here, but at the same time, everything Uber's doing, the cab companies could have done.
Right.
You know, it's not like they're doing something that was that new. 5 years ago, you had that much of a head start. Unfortunately, they are now talking about leasing cabs, things that they should have been doing. So with my show, man, I like to stir things up.
Right.
I've worked at 6 cab companies, and some are different, some are the same.
Right.
But the one thing's for sure is it is a long 12-hour shift, and when you're done, you are in no shape to do much else but get ready for the next day.
Yeah, man. You know, I
know?
mean, you see it. You know, you see all different kinds of jobs, but
Right.
you don't know what the person goes through day in and day out. Plus, me just being Italian, I don't like anybody behind me at all. It's
Right.
mirrors or no mirrors.
Yeah.
That's just a whole other thing. So I think, you know, you got to hand it to some of these guys. How about like the impaired drivers in Vegas? You run across?
Oh, lots.
I know you run
Yeah.
across it,
Oh,
but, you
yeah.
know, you got to be able to move fast and
Well, it's not only the driver; it's the people you pick up. What Uber has done and Lyft, they've made it safe for the drunks to go to the neighborhood bar and get smashed, and not get behind the wheel. You know, you
which
get
I
in the
think,
car, and
which
it's a good thing.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So DUIs actually go down as Uber comes on. There are fewer crashes, but if you look at what the president wants to do with that company, the CEO.
Very good. Okay, good. Let me ask you.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about the pandering. I was seeing here, you know,
Right.
and I hope I was reading it right, but I was just
Yeah.
seeing, like, you know, how does that come into? I mean, is that because when you're out there driving, you see all these different things? Do you know what I mean?
Well,
From behind the wheel, it makes
yeah,
sense.
yeah.
I see a lot more than you might see.
Right. Well, pandering
Meaning you see a lot more.
right. Joey, pandering has to do with making arrangements for a prostitute to hook up with a John.
Okay.
And some of the escort services are real aggressive about this. They offer you a lot of money. Personally, I always refer people to Pahrump because it's legal.
Okay.
But a lot of people don't want to go to Pahrump.
Right.
So
Now, if you wanted to just, you want to go off the limb a little bit, your boss is like, hey, man, you got to make this run. You want to just go wacky and say, sweetheart, get back there. I'll take you out to Pahrump, but it's going to cost you this amount.
well, it's a flat rate, $200 to go up there and back.
Yeah, but it's 400, right?
It's $200 to go up there and back.
Yeah, but it's another 200 in your pocket.
No, it's more than that. It's
Okay.
about $5 in your pocket.
So that's if you could do the run, right? If you're allowed and
yeah.
you're free, you could do the run.
Yeah, if they're willing to wait the time, the almost 2-hour trip to go
Right.
up there
Right.
and back.
Let me ask you something, because time is slipping on us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And
Yes.
and man, I've had a lot of guests and everything, but
Mm-hmm.
I've it's like sitting in my house just talking with you. And my next question would be, may I fill that drink for you? But we're actually in the studio, but it's hanging out like we're hanging
Right.
out in the corner. But I got to throw this at you.
Sure.
What are you thankful for, my friend?
I am thankful for every day that I can get out of bed, man, and put my pants on. As far as, every day above ground is a good day for me because I've been there. I've seen death. It didn't take me. God said, okay, that's what it looks like. I'm going to let you slide. All right? Now, what are you going to do about it? And that's where I'm at. I want to go out. I want to do something that leaves a mark.
I think you've done that, and you put beautiful, not ideas, you put great things into people's minds that are behind the wheel, experiences that they would never know. And hopefully they can learn from some of those things and, maybe know what to do right, what to do wrong and everything.
Sure.
Man, I tell you, you've been an incredible guest.
Thank you.
You've been a really great person, man, with the comments you make, man. I take them serious.
Good.
And I'll tell you why I take them serious is because there's a lot of jealousy in the world, and it doesn't take a lot to say you are a stand-up person, and I respect you, man. It doesn't take a lot to do that, and that's for you. And sometimes people just can't get those words out. So, as yesterday being Thanksgiving, and the people that can't get those words out, I'll get it out for you. All right. I want to say thank you for being a wonderful guest.
Thank you.
I want to thank everybody for tuning in to the Joey Ciccone Show here on Black Friday with a great host. And I want you to listen to his show, Mike McGee. Mike, one more time, the show, please.
Behind the Wheel, 6 o'clock every Monday, 6 p.m. from 6 to 7. Tune in. We'll expect you.
I highly recommend it. Joey Ciccone signing off. I'll see you next Friday. Until then, have a wonderful, wonderful evening.